What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you guys another strategy that involves the RSI indicator and how to use it properly. Last week I showed you guys exactly how to do that, but those setups take a lot more time and you might only get one or two setups every single week, especially if you're trading on a higher time frame using this strategy I gave you last week. So in this week what I'm going to do is show you the same exact strategy but with a couple variations that will help you get more setups every single week but still have very quality setups and still have a very high win rate. In this video we're going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway. So we made a post in our Discord server for you to go ahead and like our last video, and one of the people who commented and subscribed on our last video will get $100 USDT sent to them and also a free lifetime membership with Elite Signals. So we're going to announce that at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around and watch it all the way to the end, and let's get started. So let's go ahead and give you guys a rundown of last week's video just so you remember exactly what I was talking about, and then show you guys the differences for this strategy that I'm going to show you guys today. So very simple. Right here, over here, we have the RSI indicator at the bottom of our charts. Now typically what they tell you is that you want to be selling and buying during areas of oversold and overbought levels. So for example, over here we're looking at Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, and we can see in this area it told us that we were oversold here, and I believe here. Every single time, if we follow the RSI indicator, it would have told us to buy. Every single time, we would have lost our trade here. So what we did instead is we're actually going to use the RSI properly. We're going to use it with some confirmations to understand exactly which trend we're in and to know when to trade and when not to trade. So very simple. What we're going to do for this is we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the Elite Algo indicator as an indicator to weave out false signals so we know exactly what we're doing in the market and when we should be trading and when we should be not trading. So how do I know this? Let me show you exactly. So over here we can see we are currently in a sell position on the Elite Algo indicator, which basically means that we should not be looking for buying positions over here, or over here. Very simple. And we only want to buy whenever we have the proper trend on our charts. So we only want to buy when we're currently in a buy trend like we saw over here, and we only want to sell when we're currently in a sell trend like we saw over here. Very simple. But now let me show you guys the difference in this variation versus the last variation. So for the last variation, again, just to make it simple, over here we see we are in a sell signal over here in this section. The price went up and touched our overbought section. We could have entered a trade and this would have been a good trade to take. Same as over here, we're in a sell position. The price went up and then hit our overbought area, and then we could have entered another perfect snipe to make another good trade on the downside. Now let me show you guys the new strategy. But before I show you the new strategy, please, I want you guys to understand both strategies are good. Both strategies will make you money. There's no such thing as a best strategy. It's which one you would like to follow yourself. Because I know I'm going to get this question a lot. Sir, which one is the best one to use, sir? Please, sir, tell me exactly which one I should be using. Just listen to the video, pick the strategy that you like, and then follow that strategy. Make sure you follow it for at least 20 trades so you can have it down pat and you can know exactly what you're doing with it. Okay, so for this strategy, what we're going to do is we are going to wait for a brand new signal to pop up on our chart from Elite Algo, okay? The next thing we want to do is we want to wait for the first retracement. So almost every single time that you're going to see a signal, there's always going to be some type of retracement, especially when we are using the settings with the noise filter over here, as you can see. So what do I mean by this? Over here, we can see we got a buy signal right there. And then we got a retracement right over here, okay? This is the first retracement. So for example, over here, we have no retracement. Over here, we have a retracement. Over here, our first retracement is right there. As you can see, the buy signal, this didn't end up getting a retracement. This sell signal, this got a retracement right over here. And then again, right over here. As you can see, very simple. Now, for this strategy, what we're going to do is we are going to trade the retracements with the RSI. So what do I mean by this? Let me show you exactly what I mean by this. So we're going to remove drawings. So we're going to wait for a buy signal to come. Then we're going to wait for the price to retrace. Once the price retraces and we see, this is very important over here, that the RSI line goes over the half line and then comes back towards the retracement, this is when we enter. So we want to make sure that the purple line goes above or below the RSI and then crosses back above or below the RSI middle line over here. So our entry point over here would have been right about here on the RSI, showing us exactly when we should be entering. And then we would simply just set our stop loss right behind the last swing low, and then we can target a 1-to-1 if we want, a 1-to-5 if we want, or a 1-to-2. Very, very, very simple in what we could target over here. This is exactly how I want you guys to look at this strategy. Let me show you guys a couple more examples. Here's another example, guys, over here. We see that we have a sell signal and the price retraced over here in this section. Okay. Now, the thing with this one is that we don't want to take it because there wasn't a strong enough retracement. As we can see, the RSI line never got back into the bullish area and then never had the chance to retrace back into the bearish area. So in this area, we do not want to enter with this strategy. I want to show you guys this because I want you guys to understand what an A+ setup is and what a B+ setup is, or a C+ setup is. We could have still taken this trade, we could have still made money on it, but this would not be an A+ setup. This would be considered a higher risk setup that you can still take if you want to, but it's not something that I would take personally over here. Here is an example of a setup that I would take every single time over here, guys. So we see we have a sell position, the price goes down, retraces back up. Over here, we see our retracement. We can see that we crossed over the half line and then it dipped back under the half line, and it also crossed under the yellow ribbon on the RSI. This would have been another time where we could have taken a trade somewhere around this section. Again, we would set our stop loss. We can either set it over here for a very tight stop loss or over here right behind the last swing high. And again, we can target whatever we want, a 1-to-1 like this, or a 1-to-1.5, or a 1-to-2. It's really up to you and your risk manager settings. And again, we can also do it one more time over here. This would have been a good area again to buy. We can see we had a buy signal. The price came back to retrace it. We can see over here it crossed underneath the half line and then went back up above the half line right over here. This is where we would have entered the trade. Our stop loss, something like this. And again, we choose what we want to target as our take profit. This would have been something of what I would be looking for whenever I'm trading. And that's pretty much it for the strategy. It's extremely simple. If you guys want to try it, go ahead and try it. We're going to pick the winner of the giveaway over here. So we're going to go ahead into the Discord and we're going to go ahead and pick a random person that's, there you go, this guy right here. He subscribed and did the challenge, the giveaway. Zaza, you're the winner. Message me to claim your prize. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you want me to trade this live, let me know. If we get 100 likes on this video, I will trade this live. And then you guys can follow trades with me and see exactly what happens using this strategy. And please subscribe. It really helps me stay motivated so I can keep making videos for you guys every single week for your trading and help you make better decisions in the market.